As you can see, this is what we call our sales funnel. When a lead comes in, it enters at the top of the funnel here. Your job is to guide this lead all the way to the end of the funnel. Every day or week, I just tap and check. I use it often, and by checking, I can easily see and understand my results. How many customers do I have this week or month? What are the sales and what's happening? Welcome back to Vi's Import and Export, sharing knowledge on import and export. In this week's video, I will continue sharing a series about CRM in import and export. The reason I want to talk about this topic is because back in the early days when I started working in import and export, I used to save important information about customers and related data in Excel files. Every time I needed to look something up, I would go back through old emails where we made contact, emails about price negotiation, so I could understand how I had previously worked with each customer. This helped me have a basis for future discussions with them. At the same time, either every quarter or every month, I had to prepare reports. I would spend hours, sometimes 2 to 3 hours, putting these reports together so I could see how many customers I had reached out to, how many had placed orders, and what kind of revenue they brought to the company during that month. And these tasks took up a lot of my time. So that's why I started looking into CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management System for managing customer information. I discovered that major companies around the world use these kinds of tools to help them scale up their business. And the first CRM tool I came across was Salesforce. For those of you who are hearing about Salesforce for the first time, it's actually a platform that specializes in providing major CRM solutions worldwide. In fact, this software really met my needs quite well. However, one thing I found a bit unfortunate is that the cost is quite high, and I also don't really like its interface that much. And for over a year now, I've started using another CRM tool as a replacement called HubSpot. It offers both a free version and a paid version, and the paid version is also very affordable, much cheaper compared to Salesforce. That's one thing I really like. Actually, I've previously shared some videos about HubSpot. However, I've noticed that not many people have applied it or really maximized its potential. That's why I decided to create this series that provides more comprehensive and advanced guidance on HubSpot. My goal is to help you, first of all, manage your lists effectively. Your customer lists. You'll be able to group your contacts into contact lists, which will make your email marketing efforts much more effective. You can also create custom properties and tailor the fields in HubSpot to fit your business or your products. And finally, what I want is for you to be able to guide you through the process. That means I've already done it myself. I've tried it out first, and now I want to help you create reports and dashboards similar to what I've made so you can quickly get an overview of your sales performance each month, each quarter, or each week, like how many customers you found and how many you've gained, how many orders you've received, and what your total sales are. All you need to do is click once and the results will appear on your screen. Right now, I'm using HubSpot on the mobile version, which is really convenient. That means every day or week, I just tap and check. I use it often, and by checking, I can easily see and understand my results. How many customers do I have this week or month? What are the sales and what's happening? Go up. That's the benefit of using HubSpot. I find that it's quite suitable for small and medium-sized businesses, and even if you're a sales professional working in an export company, you can use it too because there are free versions available. Personally, after using HubSpot for a while, I've found that it helps me save about 30 to 40% of my time compared to before I used this tool. And I honestly think proper use benefits. If you use it long enough and are willing to make some sacrifices, it will also bring similar results for you. As for how to use it properly, we'll explore that together in the modules I'll be sharing in this program. And one more feature I want to mention is the JobSpot Everyone. After some time using it, I realized that the earlier you register an account, the more free features you can access compared to those who sign up later, because I've noticed that they keep restricting more features in the free version. So there will be fewer and fewer features available over time. That's why, if possible, you should register for an account as soon as you can. I'll also leave the registration link, the free account creation link at Visuet Caucum in the description. so you can easily click and sign up quickly. Now, I invite you to watch each module and see how this tool can help you, as well as how to use it. Okay, let's go. As usual, I've also prepared some concise slides like this to help you follow along more easily while you listen. This way, the information is more condensed and you can easily put it into practice. All right, let's get started. Help, support, and guidance are all here for you. First, it'll help you understand what we'll be covering online. The content I'm going to share will include 6 main modules. The first part is about the basic components and operating principles of CRM. Because if you understand the principles, it will be much easier for you later on to customize it and make the most of its features. For those who don't grasp these basic principles, it will be very difficult to truly master it. The second part is about customizing the stages. These stages refer to the different phases according to or tailored to your export business. The third module we'll cover is how to create any kind of view in HubSpot. This means that later on, if you want to group those reports by, for example, product categories or by new versus returning customers in HubSpot, you can easily organize them. The fourth module is about how you can create contact lists. So, what are contact lists? They are groups of emails belonging to customers who share a common characteristic. For example, if you categorize them as potential customers, you can group all potential customers into one contact list and then send. Each time you can send mass emails, that is, one email to many customers at once. Just select that contact list and with a single action, send it to hundreds or even thousands of customers. Next, the fifth part is about using email marketing and how to use email templates effectively. And finally, the way you can create a dashboard report just with one click. You can view all the information you need. Now, let's move on to the first part, the first module, which is the basic components and operating principles of HubSpot 2. As you can see, there are 3 main objects. Objects here refer to the key entities you need to understand in CRM, and these are the ones you'll be working with consistently. The first is contact. A contact is the email of a customer. For example, if you reach out to someone named Tony, once you find Tony online, you'll have his email address, his phone number, and his website. When you enter this information, it will be saved in the CRM system, and whenever you need it, you can simply search for it and it will appear. The second is company. This refers to the name of a company. Typically, each contact will belong to a company. For instance, Tony works at, say, Company A, so he will be associated with Company A. Conversely, Company A can have multiple contacts linked to it. There can be multiple contacts, meaning that within Company A, you can create a contact for Tony, a contact for Thomas, and so on. Many people can work at the same company. That's the relationship. The relationship between a company and contacts is onetomany, while the relationship from a contact to a company is one-ton. And finally, there is deal, which represents a sales opportunity for you. So, when you make a quotation for a customer, meaning you see this customer as a potential client and you want to turn them into a sales opportunity, for example, by sending them a quote, this is what we call a deal. The purpose of a deal is, first, to help you categorize which stage the customer is currently in. Second, it allows you to later include this important information in your sales reports and revenue reviews. This way, when you look at the report, you can see how much this customer has already purchased, how much has been sold to them, and you can also focus on forecasting how much more they might buy in the future. All of this will be based on the deal information. In the next section, they'll guide you on how to create a free HubSpot account. You just need to go to the link levershop.com HubSpot and you can sign up for HubSpot there. We'll also take a look together. All right. As for these objects, their positions and so on, when you click on them, it will take you to HubSpot's homepage. All you need to do is click Get Started Free right here. Just click Get Started Free here. Since I've already covered how to create an account in detail in previous videos, I won't repeat it now. You just need to enter your email address here and verify your email. And that's it. You'll have a free HubSpot account to use. I won't verify the email again because I've already created an account, so it'll log in directly so you can see how it works. This is the HubSpot interface after I've logged in. Due to certain security features, it'll blur out this information, specifically the customer information. It'll leave the necessary information visible. In this contact section, there's a menu. Creating a contact is simple. Just click Contacts. And then click the Create Contact button here. You can choose to create a contact manually, which means adding each contact one by one, or you can click Import here to upload a list of contacts. If you want to import contacts using a file, you can do that, but usually we just click Manual here. Then you enter the email address here. For example, it'll enter an email related to export documentation. Van export import at gmail.com. Oh, it looks like this contact already exists. So it'll use a different email address. For example, let's use the email address Vixnk at gmail.com. It'll use this email. Then it'll enter the first name as Vi and the last name as Nguyen. As you can see, when I fill in this information, there's also a company name field here. For example, it'll enter Company B. I'm just doing a demo here so you can see how it works. Then it'll click Create, and it will generate a contact that's linked to this company name. All right. So, where's your contact located? Your contact will already be linked right here. As you can see, you just need to click Add here to add a new contact anywhere you want. So that's the location of the three objects, our three entities, which are contract, company, and deal. Now, going back to our discussion, they'll continue sharing about the components that help you track and manage your sales process. The sales process is the sequence of steps in your sales activities. First, it includes the life cycle stage, which refers to the life cycle of a lead. This part helps you track a lead from start to finish, from the moment you add a lead into your sales funnel, which is the process that helps you organize and manage potential customers as they move through each stage of your sales journey, all the way until the lead reaches the final outcome. They become your customer. So the entire process is covered here. In just a moment, on the next slide, it'll show you a diagram to make it easier for you to visualize. The second part is list status. What is list status? List status helps you track a list as it turns into opportunity, meaning it becomes a sales opportunity. In other words, from the moment you contact a customer until that customer requests an offer, meaning a sales proposal. And when you have a sales opportunity, the list status will track that entire process. Finally, there's the view status, which tracks from the stage where you make an offer to the customer until you successfully close the deal or the customer decides not to buy anymore. At that point, we call it close won, or close lost won means a successful deal, while lost means it didn't go through. So the view status is used to monitor or track this. This tracks the process from when you make an offer to the customer until that lead becomes your customer. To make it easier to understand, you can take a look at the model here. The relationship between lifecycle status and deal status is shown here. Lifecycle status is located here. As you can see, this is what we call our sales funnel. When a lead comes in, it enters at the top of the funnel here. Your job is to guide this lead all the way to the end of the funnel. The end of the funnel is the customer, which means we move through each stage like this, step by step, and work to turn that lead from the very top and move it down to the bottom here. And to help you track and take responsibility in this life cycle state, there will be a section for us to go through the definitions of each life cycle state. For example, here the hot box By default, the first stage when you put someone into the funnel is called subscriber, which means the person who registers or shows interest in your product. And next are the leads. Leads are potential customers who, after having passed through the subscriber stage, have been verified and have a real email address, will be considered leads. After that, they move on to the next stage. Marketing qualified lead means the qualified leads from the marketing tool side. Next is the qualified leads from the sales side. For these two stages, large companies usually use them, but for small and medium-sized companies, or even for myself, I don't really use them either. Use these two stages, marketing and sales. Usually, I go from the list to opportunity. Opportunity means making an offer. For those leads, what other ways are there? Whenever someone expresses a need and asks for a price, I move them down to the opportunity stage. Once the offer is successful, we convert them into a customer, someone who has made a purchase. This helps you manage your process effectively. To track the stage from the list down to opportunity, we have the list status section here. It covers the transition from the list stage to the opportunity stage. This will monitor and track the different stages for you, including new lead, which means a brand new lead, and in progress, which means you are currently in contact with that lead or prospect. You would set the stage to in progress to indicate that you are actively working with them. Open new means you are opening a new sales opportunity. So, when you open a new sales opportunity for a lead or prospect, it means at this point, this lead has now moved to the next stage. You've made your sales pitch. If you contact a lead and find they have no need or don't respond, move them to unqualified. Unqualified means they don't meet necessary criteria. They either don't meet quality requirements or aren't your potential customers. So where does the new stage come in? When you make your sales pitch to the customer, this lead will move to opportunity. At this stage, you'll use the deal stage to track and monitor the process. Here, you'll see the offer section. From the moment you make an offer, depending on each company's process, some companies go straight to signing the contract after the offer, while others need to send a sample, what we call send sample, before moving forward. There's a typo here, right? It should be contract signing. Contract signing means you sign the contract, then proceed with the next steps, and finally, close one, which means the entire process from making an offer, signing the contract, fulfilling the contract, and receiving payment from the customer is tracked through this deal stage. Once the customer has placed an order, then you'll move this lead, this contact, to closed one. At that point, this list will be converted into a customer, and it will move down here for you. So there's a relationship here, like a life cycle. With the list status and view, when you move from one contact or one list to another, and you create a new view in that list, its life state will automatically and seamlessly change. The system is specifically set up to do this automatically. It will, in fact, automatically move from this list to productivity for you. So when you create a view for a list, the life cycle will gradually shift from the list to opportunity, as expected. And then this opportunity stage will have its own process. During the time you're interacting with the customer, once you've successfully made an offer and closed the deal, that is, you've won the deal with the customer, you select close one. Close one means you've won the deal, and at this point, the life stage will automatically, by the system, move to customer for you. On the screen, we're still in the same pipeline as before, the one we just created of the life cycle state right here. When you click to expand it, you'll see the fields you can select from. The list status is also here. As you can see, you can choose any status you want. Finally, there's the view state. You're required to add a view here, because only after you add a view will you be able to see its view state. For now, let's just leave it as test one. If you scroll down, you'll see the view state section right here. Here, you can select any option you like. When you choose one, for example, let's pick one now. Then right here in the opportunity section, you'll notice that the stage will automatically change to opportunity. This means that when you make an offer on a lead, that lead will be converted into a sales opportunity. You can see here how the system updates it for you. Now let's click back to this channel here. When you click back to this channel, you'll see that it will automatically switch to opportunity. This means that the life cycle has now moved to the sales stage. Let's test it one more time. If I close this deal form, where is the deal? Let's go back to the deal. If I select this deal and choose the stage of the deal, the stage of the deal is right here, everyone. Currently, it's in the offer stage. If I just select Close One, which means we've won the deal and closed the customer, this record will automatically move to customer. Let me click Close One here so you can see. To save now. After that, they'll go back to this interface to check if the lifecycle stage has changed to customer. Here, as you can see, after I refresh, it has already changed to customer. That's the relationship between the lifecycle stage, the deal stage, and the list status. Once you understand this relationship, you'll find it much easier to manage and work with these elements. You can customize and adjust them according to your company or your product. All of these states are fully customizable for you. As for how to customize them, it'll guide you through that in the next module. In this series, I hope that through this lesson, you'll be able to grasp the basic components of HubSpot CI, helping you understand the principles and relationships between the objects and elements within this CI. See you in the next video.